Could I please ask a member of the audience to come up and help me read a poem? We're going to read a poem called To a Young Artist in Contemplation, which is the title of my poetry collection.
Your anguish is a flame.
Your anguish
only
is a
the
flame.
Night understands.
Only the night understands.
A journey.
A journey.
With no
with
beginning,
no
middle, no end.
No end.
Your pain.
Your pain, your pain, your pain, your pain, your pain. A child in the salt, in the sea that surrounds you.
You.
Your child, the salt and the pain and the salt and the salt and the salt. Your child, beginning and the beginning, the end, the middle, the end, the middle, the end, no middle, no
Listen
end.
to the stars.
Listen to the stars. Listen to the stars. For light the night, they too know. For light the night, they too know of your loneliness.
And to the waves.
And to the waves.
And to the waves in the
and
distance.
to the waves, and to the waves,
For
and to the
they
waves in the distance.
alone
For they alone hear your cry.
In silence.
In silence, in
The
silence,
moon
in silence,
will
in
touch
silence,
the
in
part of
silence,
you
in
no
silence.
one
The
else
moon will
sees,
part the part of
no
you,
one
the
else
moon will
sees.
touch the part of you no one else sees.
The one that cries.
The one that
in
cries in the day between your
smiles.
smiles.
Your laugh.
Your laugh. Birds, 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 birds will bring joy. Birds will bring joy. Birds, birds, birds will bring joy from far away. You
Birds
will
will
hear
bring
it
joy
on the tongues of
from
leaves.
far away.
Eternal joy of the free spirit that
You
you
will
are.
hear it
Eternal joy.
on the
Eternal,
tongues of
eternal, eternal
leaves.
joy. Birds will hear. Birds,
Eternal
birds
joy.
will bring joy from far away. You will hear it on the tongues of leaves.
Of the free
Eternal
spirit
joy
that you
of the
are.
free
Press
spirit that you
it
are.
gently
Press it gently
to
to
your
your heart.
heart.
It is your
your
only
only
possession.
The one that will.
The one that will carry you throughout your
carry
journey.
you throughout your journey.
And when no one else listens.
And when no one else listens.
And when no one else listens.
And when
And when no one else listens. And when no one else listens. And when no one else
Go back
understands
to the
you,
sea.
go back to the sea and scream.
In silence.
Silence.
And the manna.
And the manna of salt will heal over and over as you begin your
As you
journey
begin your journey.
again
Again.
and again
Again.
and again.
And again.
Thank you. That was not rehearsed. That was impromptu. And now for something completely different. This is a slice from my fourth novel, They Who Do Not Grieve. This is actually the first time and the first space that I found to read it in, because it's a love story between an artist and, yeah, it's a love story, I think. So I'm just going to read it. That evening, they made love on the damp cement floor, with the one matte and scent of paint, but the scent of their own juices was stronger, and they could smell each other for days after that. Days, even after she'd shower, though he didn't, until he saw her again, and they showered together before she quickly left to catch the bus. Have you ever slept with an islander before, Akbar? What kind of question is that, woman? You know what kind of question it is, Akbar. So tell me, have you ever slept with an islander before? You know that's not fair. I mean, I've never asked. Well, I know you, but Alofa, that's not... Were you ashamed to sleep with your own kind, Appa? Is that it? Why do you have to complicate things, woman? Okay, I've slept with Palangi women. Is that what you want to know? I've slept with them. Yeah, I have. Does that make you happy? Do you get off knowing that? You didn't answer my question, Appa. I'm no fool. Of course I know you sleep with Palangi women. Slept, Alofa. It's in the past. Slept. Okay, slept. But that still doesn't answer my question. See, because I think I'm the first woman of your kind you've ever slept with. Isn't that right, Appa? Isn't it? A week went by. She stopped seeing him, stopping at the dead green studio after work, sewed sheepskin moccasins, went home. Meanwhile, he began painting again, furiously into the night. He would deliver the mail in the mornings, go to the silk factory in the afternoon, and then rush home to paint, paint, paint. Big brown nudes with black hair, sometimes red hair, lying on damp cement, on mats, next to brooms, electrical cords, machetes tinted red, night after night, sweating in the coldness of the studio, smelling her in the oil in his hands, the coffee, the panpopo, smelling her no matter how many times he had showered. For he had resorted to cold showers during the early hours of the morning, when the sun crept like an ant across the horizon, whenever he went out for a smoke, a walk, to contemplate after painting, before a painting, wondering what she was doing, whether she was thinking about him, because he was thinking about her every waking hour, in the conscious unconscious, in the unconscious consciousness. Where are you? Where? How did she know? Maybe it was the way he touched her, but he didn't know how to touch her. He didn't know. All he'd done up to then, and he's been doing it only with white women and a man now and then, was to put it in, take it out, roll over, and go to sleep. And they loved it. Never asked any questions like that. They were with the goose that laid the golden egg, and that was enough. And sometimes he admitted he was an asshole, a complete shit, to beat them up just to see how they'd react. But they, predictably, still came crawling back, which made him angrier, pissed him off. His proletariat anger they took as a sign of artistic genius and excused it as that, threw their bodies and souls to him some more. And he took them sometimes spitting at their bourgeois bodies, running the shower off his skin, repulsed by the scent of them. Still, they came back. Art critics, PhD students of the island's Pacifica art renaissance, art dealers, women, and a few pretentious men. I'm gonna make you a star, darling, a fucking star. Just wait and see. Then came the commissions for private paintings, for individual exclusive collections, particularly from the Europeans who were tired of the New York scene, tired of their own scene, agents sniffing around the world for something totally nouveau. Even they, with all their francs, Deutschmarks, and pounds, couldn't convince him enough to come to Europe, offering him business class tickets, 5-star hotels, and anything he ever wanted. Alles Liebling, alles für Kunst, alles. But he was terrified of flying, and they could have offered him the world. Nothing was going to make him enter another plane. Nothing. His favorite Auntie Mosi returned to Samoa from New Zealand and died in a plane crash. And from then on, he decided never to fly again. I came by the other day. They told me you quit your job. They also told me about a funeral. I'm sorry for whoever died, and I'm sorry that you had to quit your job, and She was my grandmother, okay? Her worst nightmare was to be buried away from Samoa. Everyone knew, but bury her here anyway. All that money they have, and they didn't respect her last wish. I don't know what it is about this country that makes our people forget, you know? It seems to me that people remember the stupid things and forget what's important. What is important anymore? Even I don't know. I met a Maori woman once, the first week after I got to this country. Her name was Rangi. She was a photographer and took a picture of me, my first picture in this country. And she said to me, if you listen to the wind, Alofa, you will hear them, the ancestors. They are there in the wind. They are there. I never saw her again since, but I could never forget the lament in her voice. It was a voice I'd never heard before. Now I know what she meant. I know why her voice was the way it was, because I too feel dispossessed, not the way she and her people have been, but I'm dispossessed nevertheless. My grandmother is dead, and I wasn't even there to see her breathe her last breath, let alone respect her wish that she be taken to Samoa if something ever happened to her. But even if I did want to take her back, I don't know if I have what it takes to do so. Isn't that pathetic, Appa? I don't care if I'm the first Pacific Islander you've ever slept with. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I don't even know if I want to return to Samoa or that I want to stay here. I just don't know. Don't even know anything anymore. I just don't. I don't. He moved slowly towards her, pressed the palm of his hand on her shoulder. Then, like a crab, his fingers crawled up her neck, up, up to her skull, feeling the silk that lived in her hair, her black hair, full of sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. His eyes were closed while he did this feeling of the blackness in her hair. He then continued to caress the sorrow in her hair, pulling her closer to his chest, his fingers crawling now to her eyebrows, massaging her eyebrows, feeling for her eyes, pressing on the corners of her eyes, her cheeks. She moved her mouth towards one of his fingers, towards two of his fingers, taking them into her mouth. "Drink me, bite me, drown in me," she said. And against the wall he did. He bit her, teasingly at first, while moving faster and faster, in and out of her, away. Alofa, don't ask me why. I'm trying to figure it out for myself. I can't be with you, Appa. I understand, Alofa, but I can change. I feel that I'm changing. Don't you see it? Appa, I know you can change. And yes, I've seen you change. You held my hand the whole night last night while we slept. I felt it. But Appa, it's not about you and the women. It's not about that at all. That doesn't matter to me anymore. I know how you feel about me. I feel the same about you too, and I'll always carry that with me. But I have to find my own way in this country, you know? I mean, I have to stand on my own 2 feet, earn my own way the way you've had to earn yours. I can't do it if I'm with you. I can never do it if I'm with you. I'm sorry. But Alofa, don't you see what you've done for me? You've saved me, man. Saved me. My life was nothing when I met you. Empty. People liked my paintings, enough to buy them anyway. And all this attention from people I don't even know, don't care to know. You're the real thing, Alofa. I've learned so much about myself just by being with you. You're what's important, Alofa. You are important. Appa, I don't want to be a savior to anyone but myself, man. I want to be my own savior, pick myself up when I fall. I'm glad you feel that way about me, but I can't stay with you. You remind me too much of my father and of my mother, God bless her soul, and the way she hung on to my father. I don't ever want to be that way. I want to keep this memory of us now. It'll be my light whenever I'm lost. So this is goodbye then, Alofa, isn't it? Is this what you're telling me? It is, Appa. This is goodbye. Goodbye. Tofala manamea. Maybe one day I'll come see your paintings at a gallery when you become an important painter later on, and I'll say silently to myself, among the crowds and crowds of people around me, I knew him. He held my hand all night while I slept. Once. Thank you.